going on, guys? Welcome back to RideRazor. My name's Austin, and in today's video we're going to be teaching you guys how to do a Feeble stall. So we have received a ton of comments asking to teach you guys how to do a stall. I'm happy to finally be here today to break it down for you guys. A Feeble is the most common stall people do on quarter pipes. It is the easiest stall to do and the safest stall to do. Pretty much just makes it easier for you guys to learn other stalls in the future. So a Feeble stall is very similar to a Feeble grind. If you guys do not know how to do a Feeble grind, click that card up there or check the link down below. I break down how to do a Feeble grind, and I highly recommend learning that before you do the stall. The difference between a Feeble grind and a Feeble stall is you're not gonna be grinding and sliding, you're pretty much staying in one spot, but I do recommend you guys learn it either way just because it is a key trick as well. A couple things that I highly recommend you guys know how to do ahead of time is making sure you can drop in a quarter pipe. If you guys don't know what dropping in a quarter pipe is, that means that you can go down the ramp comfortably. You're not afraid to go in the ramp just because you need to be able to go up and down in order to do the stall, just because it does utilize both of those motions. And knowing how to do a Feeble grind isn't necessary, but I do recommend you guys have that trick in the bag as well. All right, so to break down the steps on how to do a Feeble stall, you're gonna want to approach a quarter pipe that you feel comfortable on. You're gonna bend your knees as you make your way up the ramp, just like you were if you were gonna air out. However, you do wanna be going significantly slower. Since you're not airing out of the ramp, you're not gonna need a ton of speed. You just need enough speed to make it to the top, but bend your knees as you're approaching the ramp. Once you are starting to get closer to the top, you're gonna start to turn just like you would if you were doing a 180, but nowhere near as significant. You're gonna just wanna slightly start to turn so you get a little bit of an angle, and you are gonna be turning backside. So you're gonna wanna make sure your inside of your body is gonna be turning towards the inside of the ramp. That is a backside spin. There are front Feebles, and we'll talk a little bit more about those in a sec, but make sure you guys are learning backside Feebles in the beginning just because they are a little bit easier. You're gonna wanna shift your weight forward so you pretty much go up and out of the ramp. However, your back wheel is gonna stay inside the quarter at all times, and you're gonna use that backside spin to lock your back wheel against the coping and sit your deck on the top of it, just like a Feeble grind on a ledge. So once you guys are sitting in that Feeble stall on the top of the ramp, once you know that you are locked in and you feel comfortable, all you have to do to go back in the ramp is slowly lift up the front end of your scooter slightly and dip right back into the quarter pipe. It sounds a little bit harder, but I promise once you're in that stall, all you have to do is pop yourself right back in the ramp, just like you were dropping in. And you guys can actually get comfortable doing that just by going to a ramp, setting yourself up in a Feeble position, and practicing going back in. So once you actually get the motion of getting into the Feeble down, you'll already know how to get back in the ramp, no problem. This position that I'm in right now is what a successful locked-in Feeble stall should look like. As you can see, the back end of my deck is locked in up against the coping. The back wheel is pushed all the way up against. My front wheel is sitting right here on top of the ramp, and what I'm doing is I'm using the weight of my body and keeping it on the inside of the ramp while actually using my arms and holding the scooter more towards the ramp, which is allowing me to stay locked in. The reason for that is you want to keep your scooter as level with the ramp as possible. If you start to turn it too much, the back end of your deck will slip out and you won't actually be in the stall anymore. So you want to make sure you keep your scooter as level as possible, keeping your weight slightly on the inside, bending your knees, and then jumping back in as soon as you feel comfortable enough. So this right here is a backside Feeble stall. My heels are facing the coping and I am facing the inside of the ramp. But if I were to turn, so now my toes are facing the coping and the back of my body is facing the ramp, this is what a successful frontside Feeble stall will look like. As you can tell, slightly scarier just because you can't actually see what's going on inside the ramp, but once you guys perfect the backside Feeble, frontside Feebles will come no problem. I do highly recommend you guys learn both ways over time. Mastering frontside and backside grinds and stalls will only expand your bag of tricks and make you a better rider. Alrighty, so that's how to do a Feeble stall. Let's talk about where to try a Feeble stall. Personally, I would learn how to do a feeble stall on a small to medium-sized quarter pipe that is not really steep, that I already feel comfortable going up and out of, just because you're gonna wanna practice this trick over and over again. And if you're already comfortable going up and out from that ramp, you're not gonna have any problems getting into a feeble stall. So start small, work your way up, learn this trick on a smaller ramp at first, and then take it to those bigger ones. And just like that, now we know how to do a feeble stall and where to do a feeble stall. The only thing left to do is to go try a few.